Okay, your order has arrived. Now what do you do? So you'll want to open up the box, and depending on what you ordered, and as you can see, I haven't put my makeup on yet because I'm going to walk you step by step through this. So you will have received a palette in the size. I always recommend, I hope you've got something that's a bit bigger than the actual number of tins that you have ordered, because you're going to want to grow into it, okay? So, but if not, don't fret. You can have as many palettes as you want to. And our whole, what we're trying to do is get you from that mess to this very organized and personalized palette. Now, when you placed your order, we would have done a color match for you, I hope. And so you'll have been color matched with very likely a contour, a main highlight, a brightening highlight, a lip and cheek, possibly an illuminator, 1 or 2 brushes, and you may have needed a color corrector as well. You may have added some extra things as well. We also have, of course, our bronzers. We've got a setting powder, lip conditioners, extra lip and cheek. So, and of course, shadows as well. So that'll be dependent on the size of the compact that you have. So I'm just going to show you how I like to set up the palette and how I recommend that you do it. Of course, there are no set rules with this, but I'm going to suggest that you start with your going from the darkest. So we're going to start out with the Astoria. And I don't know if you saw the little tip that I gave the other day, but if you have any problems if these lids are a little bit sticky, put a piece of Scotch tape on the back and then just pull it out that way. Okay, so you just want to save those lids, pop them into a safe spot, open up your palette, and I'm going to start the top one here with my contour. Okay, next color is going to be my main highlight, which is the darker one. Then I'm going to go into the brightening highlight. And again, you can follow along in the guide that I've got over here for you. And then I'm going to do the lip and cheek. And if you've got more than one, the one that you're primarily going to use for your cheeks. Okay, so I've got that one. Now, if you have a compact like this, you might even want to start out with your color corrector here, but as long as you know what it is, you're fine with that. Some of the palettes, I'll show you, the ones that I use, for instance, are bigger, and they actually hold 9 in the top one, okay? So just, it's going to be dependent on the size that you got. This is a real nice starter size. Then we're going to go into the second one, and that's actually, just for these purposes, I'm going to put a color corrector, which is Aspen, which is actually a contour, but we use that as a color corrector for any redness. If you have dark under your eyes, you probably were recommended a mango. As you can see in the sample over here, I've let her know mango for darkness. I've got a Bella bronzer. Now, if this is a little tip, keep your ears open for this tip. If you want a Bella bronzer, I would highly recommend getting it in the bundle with the blush and bronzer, because it just costs a couple of dollars then to get the color. It's a really great deal. So I'm going to put a bronzer in there and an illuminator. Okay, illuminator, and then I've also got a couple of shadows. I just love when they package. They give you, it's like a party in a box when you get that. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to just unpack. I've got, oh my goodness, I was actually looking for that color. That one's called number 33. It's a beautiful shimmery green. Pop that in there. And one more. Oh, that's another nice one. Sabrina. So I've got a light and a dark. I normally recommend at least 3 shadows. You want a light, a medium, and a dark. I like a mixture of a matte and a and a shimmer. But again, you can just see that this is just an example of how you want to get your palette set up. All right. And then hopefully you got some brushes. I would recommend, as you can see, again, over in here, I've recommended for this gal, this was for Linda, the 3D brush and the blush and bronzer. So the 3D brush is your fantastic all over application. This is award-winning. It looks like this. Highly, highly recommend that one. And then, of course, our amazing blush and bronzer brush for doing any blending afterwards. Now, if you got the shadows, I sure hope you got our eyeshadow brush. I've never used a better brush than this one. Some of the other things that you may have added on, things like our perfector sponge. So easy to use. I'm not going to unwrap that all the way, but when you get it, make sure that you wet it, and you can keep this beautiful tin to keep it nice and safe and clean. Every once in a while, you want to go through and just use some mild soap with that to clean that perfector sponge. All right, and then let it dry out between uses and then store away. A couple other additions that you may have gotten are amazing. Whoopsie. Stay spray. Absolutely recommend that one. This one is going to be key for keeping your product in place, especially if you have oilier skin. I love to use this for any of my shimmery eyeshadows, and I'll show you some tricks on that. And then if you've invested in brushes, you want to get our a brush cleaner. It's fantastic, cleans your brushes up, gets rid of any bacteria as well, and it doesn't keep them wet. So they're ready to use right away. That's invaluable. Now, if you didn't get everything, don't worry about it, because if you're here in Canada, the most you'll pay for shipping on any additional orders is $3.95. Down in the States, you don't pay anything for shipping. So at any time, you can add on to your order. And a great way to add additional product is to host either a class online, or for me to just get you an affiliate link, and you can share that with your friends. And as they shop, you'll earn free product as well. So I hope this gets you started. We're going to go on to now, what do you do once you do have it? You're all set up and ready to go. Okay, see you soon.